I think those who are thinking to participate in these, or those who are like excited about doing this kind of stuff, I think it's a really good getting out of your comfort zone. I would definitely recommend to anyone, because like sometimes, like it's like writing, like diary kind of thing too. You
It's
have
like therapy.
it. Exactly. You have it in your mind. You think that you talked about it, but you need to putting in a whole like streamline of thoughts, and like following a line is different than like experiencing it. So looking back perspective wise, that's a really good introspection. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it to anyone.
Hello, storytellers. Welcome to Tales to Tell, a storytelling podcast focused on the stories that matters the most, your stories. Every episode, guests from all walks of life join us to share the journeys that define them, the people who impacted them, and anything else that is important to them. Some of the stories may put a smile on your face, while others could make you shed a tear or two. But above all, we hope that listening to these stories can positively impact you in any shape or form, even just a little. All that being said, our very first season, the inaugural season, has now been completed. So instead, what you're listening to right now is a bonus episode that we're recording for you all, which I'm calling the Epilogue. What is this episode going to be about exactly? As the name implies, we're basically going to properly conclude the season and do a send-off. We'll be doing this by talking about the highlights of the entire season, share some behind-the-scenes stories, do a little Q&A on the most asked questions throughout the season, and finally, we'll talk about the future of this podcast. Now, this is a lot, and I don't want to talk by myself, so I've decided to invite back one of our season 1 guests to help me co-host this episode. Please help me welcome back our episode 2 storyteller, your favorite Turkish lady, Hazal.
Hello.
So it was really hard doing this intro because your cat is behind me moving the chair. I'm like, almost touching me.
They also start running right now. I don't know why.
Oh, we already know this is going to be good.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, Hazal.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, last night you told me like you're gonna be very prepared for this.
Oh wait, I did not try to trap myself into this situation. I was
All
trying
right?
to be
You're
supportive.
like, this is gonna be very important to me, but because you worked so hard. Which thank you so much for saying that, by the way. But I took that as a challenge as well.
No.
So let's see how prepared you are. Actually,
I am scared.
Pop quiz.
Okay.
What is the length of episode 1? Intro and outro included.
No way. No, I told you already. I listen in like double speed. There's no way I can guess.
You can still see the
Wait, let me check quickly.
No. It's
Can
a
I
pop
guess?
quiz?
Can I guess? Let's do a bet. 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Close.
Yeah.
1 hour, 35 minutes, and 49 seconds.
I think I can win this. Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I studied just for this, but I did not actually know until
Okay.
like a few hours ago.
Okay, good.
I'm not done. I have another thing I'm going to bamboozle you with.
I can.
What's tomorrow?
My birthday?
What?
I was like, is this a trick question?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, by the time we're recording this, tomorrow is Hazal's birthday.
Yay.
So please send her some birthday wish. Okay, by the time this episode comes out, it's going to be way past, but please
I will
do
not.
still send her birthday wishes. Of course, this is me, Hazal. I brought something for you.
Yeah.
I said this was a prop, but
Oh.
it's kind of like prop because it's gonna be on the table. So happy
What is
birthday
that?
to you! You can open it.
Thank you so much.
It's a box of stuff. She opens it now. She's surprised.
These are so pretty.
Right?
Okay, I'm assuming these are little cakes, but shape of fruits, and like, oh my god, this is so pretty.
It's Algerian pastry.
Wow. It's like too pretty to eat, kinda.
Yeah.
But I will definitely eat them.
Yes, and this is gonna be torture for you because you're not allowed to eat while we record. So
I just stare at them.
Just stare at them.
The whole thing. This is so sweet. Thank you so much, David.
No problem.
Yeah, just for the listeners, I've been knowing David for like 3 years now, and he is so thoughtful every single time. Like on the birthdays, on little celebrations, as a coworker and as a friend, he always brings like the celebration to the whole event. So it's so sweet. Thank you.
I trick you too much. some would
Yes.
say.
Will not complain.
That's how chaotic this is gonna be. Okay.
It's epilogue. It
Yes.
should be
The- here's
chaotic.
yeah. So that's what I was telling. I was like, hey, this is gonna be the episode where I get to talk the most. Okay. And I didn't prepare. Unlike you, I actually didn't prepare this
Okay,
much.
disclaimer, I did not prepare that much, but I'm sure everybody's excited for you to hear your perspective.
Yes. I mean, yes. Basically, yeah. Let's just get to it.
Okay.
I don't know what I was gonna say. See, I told you, I
All
did
over
not
the
prepare
place.
this. This is already chaotic. Okay, well, like I said, we're gonna start with going through the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you got any questions and if I got anything to add, I'll add. All right. I just remember what was my third bit.
What? Can you edit it back?
I'll stop talking about editing. Okay?
Editing.
It's all organic. Okay. I don't edit anything in this show. So one of the reason why Hazal is being brought back, there's 3 reasons.
Oh.
Okay. Number 1, I know you're gonna leave soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see you, like in person. So I'm like, well, I gotta do this now. Don't know when will be the next time I'll get to see you in person.
That's true.
Number 2, now here's our first fun fact behind the scenes. When I initially designed the show, it was supposed to be a 2-person. It was a 2-person host show,
Mm-hmm.
and I offered the co-host position to Hazal. I'm saying this as Hazal gave you a job. I asked if she wanted to co-host. She said no back then. Gave me some bullshit reasons, but now I know why, because she's leaving.
Exactly.
So that's the reason. So this is your chance to redeem yourself.
I'm glad that, it's out. Yeah, I'm moving, so I didn't want to commit anything before I move.
And this is the third reason.
What?
But I don't know if you will still be here.
So fun. Invite me again. I'll do an episode 2. This is really fun. I tricked myself into this, yes.
And the third reason is she begged me to be here.
I actually enjoyed our episode so much. I'm so excited for this one.
Oh my god. So yeah. So that's what. So if you want to be back, beg. This is a message to every single guest of season 1. If you want to be back, beg.
Oh boy.
No. I was partially serious. Okay, do not listen to me. I'm not, and I promise you, I'm not high. I'm not drunk today. Today. I'm not. I've never been drunk in my life.
That's what you said.
Okay. Going back to the highlight. Okay, so let's start with episode 1. Also, Hazal listened to every single episode. So, and I thought it would be nice to have Hazal here because, well, I thought it'd be cool to get a perspective from 2 sides. One from the guy who's been recording all of them, and then the other side as a listener. But bonus, she was also a guest, so I thought it would be really interesting dynamic here. So that's another reason why. All right, first episode. What do you think about the first episode?
It was really interesting. It was like the first episode to, like, we recorded. Yes, I was expecting what will be on my episode, but I did not think about how it could be with others. So it was a first glimpse of what was coming up. So that was a good intro, I would say.
Yeah, for those that didn't know, like, I recorded basically the entire season before I released the first episode.
Yeah.
The only episode that I recorded after I started releasing the episode, which I mentioned in the episode itself, was the Valentine's Day episode.
Mm-hmm.
What you hear, the David that you hear right now is the David that finally like release all of these and like know your feedback and know how everything went. So that's the story behind it. And the first episode, I don't know if you noticed compared to the other ones, I went in there thinking like, you know what? I'm not gonna prepare an intro. I'm just gonna go with feeling. What am I gonna feel as soon as I press the recording button? And guess what? I had nothing to say.
That's bold, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why like onwards, starting with your episode, I was like, okay, I'll do a proper intro. But yeah, the first episode was with Massimo. It's a good friend from college. He's one of the first people that I asked. So it makes sense for him to be in there. I would say that episode I felt, what's the word? Like there was a big unknown in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So even then, I did like a test recording beforehand, but it was not like a proper like I'm gonna record a test episode with somebody. It was just to test the sound, really.
Oh, just by yourself.
Yeah. No, with another friend of mine.
Okay.
but it was not an episode. It was just a test of sound.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, when we were recording that, I was like, so how long do you need me? I was like, yeah, we'll just do like a 10-minute just talk. And so I got like 10 minutes to like check the sound and fix the sound and see how I can do this. And I shit you know, we ended up talking for almost 2 hours about random stuff.
Honestly, just give people a mic
Yes.
and they have so many things to say.
Yeah, and I think from that moment I was like, yeah, I think this is gonna work. I think this is gonna work. Yeah, but still, even knowing that it was the first episode, so there was that little pressure. I'm like, okay, I can't fuck it up because also I'm taking somebody else's time. So that's a big thing that's been on my mind for every single episode. Right, I'm taking somebody else's time to do this.
Well, I was curious on that. Like, before you start recording your first episode, what was the fear or concern that you had before start recording it?
Technical issues, to be honest.
Sure, but
Yeah.
those are fixable.
There's so much you can do. If you don't record good audio, like as a base, it's really hard to fix some of the stuff.
I see.
So that's why you might notice there's some things that in the editing I couldn't take out from some of the episodes because it was just too embedded in. And we'll get to it, but there's one episode where I did not know the aux cord was broken.
Oh.
So there was a big hissing sound in the entire episode.
Oh, really?
Thank God I found a way to fix it, but overall the quality is not as good as the other one. If you're like a big audiophile, you will notice it. I noticed it because I edited it, but I'm not a audio expert. Don't get me. I learned all of this for this. I didn't know anything in the audio world before this, so there was a mix of all that, and just generally like I wanted the guests to have fun doing this. Right, it's more that really than myself, if that makes sense. So that was a part I was kind of worried about, but as soon as we start talking, I'm like, yeah, this is a conversational podcast.
Nice.
What was really cool too, I think with every single guest, after the episode ends, they would all tell me this was really fun. I want to do more. I want to do another one, and so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay, at least the guests had fun.
I can say from like listeners' perspective too, like you can hear it when you listen to them that they're like surprised how fun it is.
Yeah.
And like, cause like there's the pressure of like talking about yourself, of course, but also like it becomes such a conversation, like you said, that it's such a fun time to do it.
And you've seen the little document I sent to you for my guests. I'm like, okay, if you're worried, here's like a little planning thing. But honestly, like if you read the gist of it, it's basically like, just be yourself. This is literally your story.
Yeah,
so
I think
there's not a better storyteller than yourself because it's your story.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I never go in with pre-prepared questions aside from the rapid fire question because those are usually the same. Or sometimes I tweak it a little bit to fit that person. Aside from that, like I don't go in there with specific questions, and I think that worked in our favor. But yeah, that was really like it's really cool to see that my guests had fun. And again, I recorded all this before I released it, so I didn't know how the listeners would react to it. But I was like, okay, at least I made the guests' day, so to speak. Not just for the podcast, but also with the gifts. That was another highlight from all the episodes. And again, Massin was my first guy, so I was curious like how would they react to that, and they all fucking loved it. But yeah, that first episode surprisingly went without a hitch. I would say, aside from, like I said, the little bit the formatting was a little bit shaky because I did not go with a clear format, so to speak. And Ari, I think it was one day after it was your episode. I already fixed some of those with the intro and a proper flow of everything, and added bloopers.
So you learned along the way.
Yes.
Wow.
Each episode there was a learning in there. I would say that starting from episode 4 was when I was like, I think I nailed it. Not saying it's perfect, but I'm really comfortable with how it is starting from episode 4. So what happened with episode? Well, so like I said, I basically recorded yours and the first episode basically back to back. So I didn't have time to go back to listen to the first episode before I went to you. So your was basically the same minus what I said about the some of the
Technical ones.
Not technical, but like the formatting of it.
Yeah.
But after I finished recording yours, I had about half a week so I went to listen to your episode. I was like, I feel like I'm asking too many questions. I feel like I'm cutting you guys too much. That was my personal feeling, right?
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too conscious when you edit and you hear your own voice.
Probably.
I'm like, but also it's one of those things. It's easy for me to say that after I record it. And I'm just listening to the replay, right? I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have stopped there. Oh, I should have asked that question. But
I see.
one of the hardest parts for the format of the show is because I'm interviewing people that are not famous, which is totally fine. It's not
also not experienced in podcasts too.
Yeah, and not experienced interviewing and so on, right? But most of all, like I said, the point of the show is I'm interviewing normal people, so to speak. I'm not interviewing superstars like the Tonight Show where they have most popular actors and singers of the world, right? And those people, they have the entire profile on Wikipedia, so they can do research beforehand. I cannot do that.
That's why,
right? The most I would know about a person is like, okay, he's a designer. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna research on good designer questions and what I'm personally curious about. Right? That's pretty much my approach. But at the end of the day, I do not know their story. So it's really about listening and asking the questions that I'm personally curious about, and I hope that also the audience would be interested about.
Maybe not specifically to episode 1, but what was your thought process when you were picking your guests? Like, what were you looking for? What was the thing that like made it like, oh, this can be a guest?
Well, first of all, it needed to be people that I was maybe not close to, but like comfortable with.
Okay.
Right? Like none of the guests that were on the first season were people that I've never talked to before. I had some sort of interaction with them. Why specifically? I guess I think it's the first season. I didn't want to throw people I don't know into this random stuff I'm doing, right? And it's people I trust in a certain degree. And also my second thing, I really want people from different walks of life, right? So if you look at all the profile, they all do something different.
Yeah.
Right? In the passion side, we might have some same stuff, but it's one of those things like everybody games, everybody watches anime nowadays. A lot of people read.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to see some repeats of those. But in terms of like what they do, not just professionally, but also like on the side, I try to get various like different walks of life. And I think I did a good job on that.
I agree. And also, like, from my perspective, for example, there were some people while I was listening had the same mindset that I have. And like when they were talking about their lives, I was like, oh yeah, I agree with that. I have the same view. And like live reaction to that connectedness between the guests was there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think those were my two main criterias. I definitely have some, like if I were to make more episodes, I would definitely keep trying to get different backgrounds on the show. So yeah, that's and also one of the ideas behind the show was that I do not expect everybody to watch every single episode. I think that's the point of it. It would be really nice if you do, but
of course.
I do not expect it, and it's designed that way, right? Because that's why every time I announce an episode, I put a small snippet of what that person is, who that person is, and then if you're interested, I was like, oh, I totally want to hear a story of this writer. I want to hear a story of this game user researcher. What the hell is a game user researcher? Then you go to those episodes, right? And if there's one episode you're like, it's about the first episode, it's an engineer. I was like, well, I'm an engineer. I don't need to hear that. Or actually opposite. I was like, oh, I'm an engineer. I want to hear the perspective of someone, of another engineer, right? So there's so many possibilities, but no worries if you're not interested in that person or that background. It's totally understandable.
100%. Like, for example, when I was hearing about Massimo's episode, I always was interested in Dungeons and Dragons.
Really?
Yeah, but I never had a chance to actually do it. It was really nice to hear from someone who's experienced in it and their perspective towards it too.
Too bad you're leaving because he'll be down to invite you.
I know.
To one of these games.
It's on my bucket list. Like, I have to do at least like one sitting with people, but never had a chance yet.
Soon.
Hopefully.
Soon.
I need to think about my character though. That's gonna take like ages.
I think you would love this. It's totally your thing.
100%. I love reading fantasy books, and like I heard one of the dungeon masters, for example, like does things from the books that they read and then just like bring those plot twists, and like if I experience that, I'll lose my mind.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to my initial thought. So like I said, so I thought I was cutting too much. I was speaking too much. So that's why I don't know if you noticed in episode 3, I spoke way less, and there were big chunks of moments where Phil talked for about 20-30 minutes, and I didn't stop him a single time, right?
Yeah.
And personally, I think I went the other extreme. After I listened to that episode, I was like, okay, maybe I should talk a little bit more, all right? Because in terms of attention span, can you really listen to somebody speak for 20 minutes nonstop, 30 minutes?
And also, like, while you listen, you have questions, and you asking those questions can cover that too.
Yeah, but again, it was that was the thing. That was the cons of recording all this before I released an episode, because I didn't know how
it's
feedback.
learnings, let's say, not cons.
Yeah. So that's why I think with Phil's episode, I went too far to the other side of not speaking. And I think on the fourth one, I went back to more what I did for episode 1 and 2, and I think that was really good. And it helps that also Joe was amazing podcaster. He's done interviews before, so I think that's where he got it from.
Yeah.
But yeah, starting from episode 4 onward, I think I followed the same formula for the rest of it, and I was pretty pleased about it. So okay, your episode.
Yes.
Was the worst episode I've filmed.
I felt it. The recording.
By the way, let's put this on record. Someone asked me, "Geez, do you actually hate her like that?"
What? Really?
The answer is yes.
To be on record.
number 2, I sent you this. He was watching it. He was sending me live reaction. He was like, "Damn, she stole your project." Yes.
Yes, guilty.
So how was it? Like obviously I had to invite you because I was like, okay, if I couldn't get you to be on board with the project itself, like I will interview you. But yeah, your episode, since you were the storyteller, how did it feel knowing that your story's gonna get exposed?
Okay, yes, that's something I was not prepared, because like when we recorded it, it was so much fun because like I'm talking to you, we're having a chat in general, so everything felt like, oh, this is easy peasy, love it, I'll do podcast any day. Fast forward a day, 2 days later, and I'm like, did I say that? Did I said anything bad? Like, will this be misunderstood? And I messaged you about it as well too, and some stuff, because like I don't know, like putting your story out kind of felt a little bit self-exposed on that sense, because like those people, like listeners, most of them don't know you. There are of course friends and family that listens, but I don't know their reaction, or like, am I representing myself as who I am? That was a big question that I was not expecting, that appeared after we recorded it.
Did anybody reach out to you after they listened to it and be like, hey, I didn't know about this, blah blah?
Yes, there was so many. First of all, Baran was like, oh, I forgot about this. This is so cute. Like, there's like little memories that you forget about it. And I had a couple of friends who live overseas, and they're like, oh, like I did not, because like there's small stuff in your life that you don't share with them. And they listen to it and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I did not know about this. And there were a couple of people who had a similar experience as me, that we were connected as friends, but we reached that to another level of connectedness in that kind of sense. Like, they're like, I totally understand you and totally agree. That was a surprise of reactions. Like, I was expecting some reactions, but I was not expecting people connecting some parts of my story, or like feeling that they experience a similar stuff with it as well too.
Nice. That's so cool to hear. That happened again. It's one of those things, like I see the numbers, but a few of them like wrote to me, you know, and it's fine. You know, I'm not expecting you to all write me praises and stuff. But one of them was Nusha. He reached out to me, who was the guest of episode 5, and he was like, "Yeah, me and my friend, we both listened to the episode, and like I was talking about that episode and stuff. Like we got to reminiscing about stuff." I'm like, that's so cool.
Sweet.
That's so cool. What would be the number one thing that people were surprised about, that you heard? Surprised about you, sorry. Like, I did not know this about you.
I think I gave the image of like I am got my shit together a lot. And then in that episode when I was mentioning like I was planning to go back, like this much made me struggle and stuff like that. That's a side that I don't expose that much. So that was one of the reactions that like I did not know you've been going through that, because like also if I was talking about it, we could have connected in that moment because a lot of people were going through the same thing. But you know, people don't show their vulnerability that immediately. And that was one thing that I got back, and like it was interesting to hear.
Well, me, it was the baking thing.
Oh, I forgot it again. Oh no. I make promises that I don't keep. God. Yeah, Charlotte like said that about it too. God.
Yeah, reminder to the listeners. She said she was gonna bake us stuff, cookies,
yes,
next time
lemon
we see
cookies.
Each other.
Oh.
This is the second time we see each other since that episode. No cookies on site.
And
I'm the one who bought her pastries.
I know. I'm so bad at this. I'm not going to make any more promises. Because like last time I saw you, I'm like, oh, definitely I'm going to cook it for the episode. And I forgot about it again.
But yeah, me and Charlotte, we both were surprised.
Charlotte, like the second I see her, she's like, oh, hi, how are you? Where's the cookies? And I'm like, God damn it.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Aside from that, yeah, anything you have to say about your episode?
I think those who are thinking to participate in these, or those who are like excited about doing this kind of stuff, I think it's a really good getting out of your comfort zone. I would definitely recommend to anyone, because like sometimes, you know, like it's like writing, like diary kind of thing too. Have it. Exactly. You have it in your mind. You think that you talked about it, but you need to put in a whole like streamline of thoughts, and like following a line is different than experiencing it. So looking back perspective wise, that's a really good introspection. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it to anyone.
How much did you prepare?
I prepared the beginning, because that was the hardest part. Because like when someone like comes up to you and like, what's your story? And I'm like I didn't want to have that hesitation. So I know where I would be starting, and I wanted to have a clear message overall with my story. So I was thinking about that, like what like how am I feeling at the moment, and like what is my biggest perspective through my life. Those things I thought about it before the episode, but others I wanted to be more organic, so I didn't want to cover anything.
Good, you listened to my instructions. Good job.
Yes, exactly. Thanks for the document.
Because our ruined document is like, hey, I do not recommend to prepare too much. This is gonna be like, we're just sitting down and have a chat. It's basically that.
Exactly. And I think like if you prepare too much, like anything that's not going towards a script can pull you out of the whole zone. So you want to be in that flow.
Okay, so one thing I promised I would tell you, because I have stats on the episode, and one of the things I can see is when people drop off.
Yeah. When? What part of my life is boring, guys? I want to know.
So yours was pretty good overall, okay?
Nice.
But there were two main areas where the listener level dropped by like a big 20%.
Oh no.
There were two areas. Can you guess in which parts?
Oh, I can't guess. No, because everything's super exciting and interesting for me. I cannot relate to those people. What was it?
I'll be honest, I was surprised about this too. The first big drop was when you started talking about Baran.
Oh. No! Come on, people.
Look, talk about our love life.
No.
And the second one, you'll be even more heartbroken. Is
my cats.
When you start talking
my cats. No.
When you start talking about your cat, we went to.
What is wrong with these people?
We went to only 20% people left that we kept listening.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Those are like the most interesting parts of my life. Guys.
Blame your people, because most of your audience came from.
Maybe they're like, we already know. Like, she already talks about it all the time. Like,
she always talks about it.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
So, yeah, fun fact.
I love data. But yeah, I'll ask about it after more.
But look at the other ones. Like, they didn't have like a clear point drop, like a big drop like this. So I don't know what happened to you.
I don't know how I should feel about this.
It's like you know our chart. How,
yeah.
I feel like it's like a really big drop. Like,
oh my god.
Like a big slope.
Okay. I'm curious. Was there anything interesting or surprising to you in my episode?
In what sense? The content?
Well, yeah, content. Well, you said baking.
I think it's the baking part.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. But also I heard a little bit about this, but I didn't know it was this bad. The whole like you were feeling homesick and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
that school. I knew that you fucked up at school at first. You told me about this story.
Yeah.
But I did not know you went as bad as like I want to go home.
I see.
Yeah. So that part surprised me. Same thing. I heard too much about your cats. Bad story I heard about you too.
You would love to edit that episode, probably. Yeah.
No. It was a really fun episode. I loved it. And on the record, like because I had to edit them, I basically re-listened to every episode like 2 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Those are long episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it takes me to make one episode?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
4 days, 5 days.
Okay, we're talking days. Give me
like
hours.
exact hours? Yeah. I would say at least like 6 hours, probably.
Okay. If I include everything,
yeah,
like traveling and also getting go work on the art,
yeah,
preparing everything, editing and the recording itself, about 10 hours each episodes. So that's a lot of work.
So like what, 10 episodes, 10 hours each, 100 hours into the podcast?
And that's only production. Think about pre-production when I was planning all this.
Also announcements, preparing posts and everything also too. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, David.
Thank you. It's all for you guys. Okay, 3rd episode. So I talked about this a little bit. Phil, like I said, that episode, again, I didn't stop it much, so there was a long period of time where it just felt like I was not there anymore.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what else to add. Like, you got anything?
Yeah, one thing I remember, it's not a pun, but the film this.
Yeah, that's a really good.
That's
name.
really good. Exactly. Like while I was listening to it, I didn't realize it, and then after I saw the name and the written version of it, I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah, I remember when he showed it to me first. I was like, this is a really smart.
Exactly. Yeah. Good work on that.
No, kudos to him. Like, one of the reasons I invited him is like, because I knew he started. Like, I met him when he just started this.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he showed me his Instagram account. He was showing me all the things he was doing. I was like, wait, you started this like recently? He's like, yeah. And what do you usually do? And it was like, he told me something. I was like, wait, what? And then I was so proud that. And then as years goes on, I see him grow. I'm like, I think he made it. Like, wow. Like, so that's why one reason I was like, I need to talk to this guy.
I agree.
So good for him. So happy for him. And then 5th episode. Joe, our concept artist at Ubisoft.
Yes.
Such a talented man.
Such a.
Did you see it? Did you see his art?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
You should Google his art.
Yeah, I will check.
Like he said, just Google my name. Yeah. So Joe's amazing. I'm not gonna repeat my story. Go listen to it. But basically, I was his lead at Ubisoft at some point, and even then, I admire his passion.
I remember them, and that when you guys were talking about the QA part, because when we were working together, you were mentioning that team quite often, and you were mentioning one guy non-stop drawing on his iPad, and like when you guys talk, I'm like, oh, this is him. Like it made the connection too. It was really nice. Yeah.
No, well, that just tells you like how much like he left a mark. It was like, yeah, he's gonna make it at some point.
And I agree.
And I think when I left UB, I think you mentioned it. When I left, basically less than a year after I left, he made it. Amazing. So yeah, kudos to him. And I did not know about his parents, and the way that he was telling me all this at first, and I think it was not on purpose. Like he still feels they're alive with him. He was using present tense.
Exactly.
And so it didn't dawn to me until
it was a big shock.
Out of 3/4, it was like, oh, unfortunately she's not here with us anymore. I was like, what?
I know, it was a really big shock. I agree on that. And like the way that he was talking, like you said, like her presence in his life is so there that I was taking it granted in my mind that like, oh, they're still in contact, they're like super close family. Hearing that was really emotional, I would say.
Really, like that. I love that episode, and well, one thing, it's gaming industry, so that touched me a little bit close to home. I think that episode was, I would say, one of the essence of what I wanted to do with this show is hey, there's a little bit of funny stuff here, but also there's some serious stuff, and you might cry a little bit here and there. Like I felt like that was like the episode.
That episode genuinely made me laugh quite often. He's really good at telling a story, and that's such a good fit for his life and his direction and the like work field as well too. And the way that he walked us through whole of his, like, I did not know how is he gonna make, because like when he was telling the story, I stopped going to the school, I met this person, I'm like, I was there going through the life with him, and I'm like, what's gonna happen next? Exactly, what's gonna happen next, what will be coming, and then any like information, the emotional part comes up, like I was feeling it. He was so good at telling his story. Kudos to him.
Yeah, and so proud of the guy. I'm so excited for what he's gonna do next.
Yeah.
Next is my good old buddy Nusha. So one reason why I want to do, why are you laughing?
That episode was really cute. That's why I'm laughing, because you guys, like, when you start recording, it's so obvious that you know each other for so long, because like you go off the rails like multiple times, and I'm like,
we went on the marriage trip
exactly, like it was so funny, like talking about the old school, old gang and everything. It was really cute. It was really cute.
I was gonna say, like, one of the reasons I want to do this is I want to reconnect with some friends. It's an excuse to reconnect with some friends. Like I have him on Insta, like we text from time to time. It's not the same, and I see him once per year at Takutan. I know like bits and pieces, like, oh, now you own a restaurant, oh, you married
milestones.
I hear that's a good point, milestone. But I've never like actually like talked to him since we graduated high school together, so that was really good, like cool, like get together basically. It was nice to talk to him again, and so like I said, I miss your buddy.
And you guys went to his restaurant.
Yes,
last weekend, right?
Yes, we went to his restaurant last weekend to celebrate a couple of birthdays.
Oh yeah.
Like in our, like we mentioned in the podcast, we had a little group in high school. We call ourselves the Geek Squad. We were basically all of us were like a top 10 in class. We're fucking losers.
Hanging out in the library, guys.
But yeah, like a couple of the people in the Geek Squad, like all the birthdays are around February and March.
Mm-hmm.
And then so for the restaurant, I was like, hey, for also since Mario, our friend, like he was gonna leave to China soon, so I was like, let's do it now. Let's celebrate all your February kids. And I was like, hey, and Nusha really misses you guys, and like he's got a restaurant, he's got 2 restaurants. Let's go and say hi to him, like. And I think they had a good time. Like they were reminiscing with him, but it was good to see like the circle of friend like rekindle with him. It was
I
really
agree.
Nice. And it's really good, guys. Go to his restaurants.
Definitely. After talking about the way that he described the restaurant, and then I saw pictures from your stories, it's
Pigeon Cafe is 100% your type of restaurant, Hazal.
I agree.
Go there for brunch.
It's just I don't have a car, but like yes,
it's
I
not
agree.
that far. It's not that far.
I can't drive.
It's not that far. You don't. I went there by metro.
Really, Saint Laurent? I thought the city Saint Laurent.
No. No. It's close to Couverture Metro.
Oh, okay. Then I'll definitely stop by. Yeah.
So it's basically depends on how you go, but like you go to Couverture Metro and you take the 121.
Okay.
It's like 5 stops, and then you walk like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. On that episode, like when there was like multiple passions of his in that episode that like gave the same, like you guys, his past friendship group, like the old gang, his job, and how he thinks about his career in general, and bouldering. Those all 3 gave the same frequency of passion, and I admired him towards that side, because like he has such a diversity on his passions, and like keeping that intensity for all of it, that's admirable. Great job.
He's insane.
Insane.
Man. Like, if we didn't go to the restaurant that day, he said he would have trained 5 hours.
What? Like the restaurant hours that you always mention, like I did not realize until I know someone who worked in the service industry. And plus doing like the bouldering in an intense. And I tried bouldering, David. I like not tried, but like I did a couple of times. It's a really intense sport. And the way that he accomplished where he is in like couple of years, insane. The mindset, insane. And I love these about athlete kind of mindset, that passion, and then like that's like I'm gonna accomplish this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna achieve this kind of mindset. Love that in
Yeah.
people.
That's why I said a couple of times, like I was like in class, like I would see you, I'm like you're the athlete guy.
Yeah.
Like very like poised, has his sits well, you know, and stuff like that. He was the guy.
And those kind of people like see a challenge and they're like excited by it, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, because that kind of gives me that energy and passion as well, too.
No, so much respect for the guy. So shout out to you, Nisha. Next one was our beautiful Valentine's Day episode.
That was so cute. That was so cute.
So you might know this because I kind of hinted to you at when we did our episode. This is an idea I had a long time. Like when I was like pre-producing this show, I was like, I need to do this. I need to do a Valentine's, a love episode, whatever. It just so happens that my release timing matches with there's a Valentine's Day coming, and I asked them if they want to do it, and they say yes, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. That was, if you're gonna ask me which is the most fun episode, I think that was the most fun episode. One of the reasons was because I basically had to design another show. Yeah, because if you listen to that episode, it's
you recorded them separately, right?
No, at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The heart of Tells to Tell was in there, but all the questioning and different and just different formatting was a different thing.
I see.
So that was really fun to do. It was a lot of more work, obviously.
I can imagine.
But it was really fun. But the recording itself was the most challenging because of the baby.
Baby was so
like,
cute.
Every episode, I take about 2 hours, 3 hours max.
Yeah.
Right? To do the entire thing. Them, I think it took like 6 hours.
Oh, I can imagine.
Okay, to be fair, the episode was longer than the other ones, but it was there an entire day.
It was so funny.
So if they're listening, thank you so much, Xavier and Mario, for like they were sorry for all the baby stuff. I'm like, no, I'm sorry to be here and like mess with your day, basically. Like I felt so bad, but like they were down to do it, and we made it work. And I think they will agree, because they listened to it. They told me, it's like, yeah, it was like, this is better than we thought in terms of noise thing. I'm like, no, it was pretty. Because what happens a lot of times, if she cried too much, blah blah, like one of the parent would like bring her to the side, would bring her upstairs. So it isolated a lot of the noises.
That episode, one thing that was interesting, of course there was a love topic, but also seeing two people at the same time brought this kind of different personalities in. So like when they were switching, like, because like one of them talked and then baby cried and like the other one came in, so that changed the whole vibe of the episode as well too. So like there were like waves of different interactions inside the episode that was really interesting, and both of them at the same time being there also interesting as well too. And their story was so cute.
This was one of the time where I wish this was a video podcast. Like every time we were talking something cute between them, they would have this thing where they would look at each other.
Oh,
I'm like, oh
that's so sweet.
This is too cute.
Yeah.
You know?
And baby had the best bloopers. Like it's sometimes like you can hear her on the background too, like quite far away, but like exactly, little noises. It was so cute.
Yeah, it was great. And again, going back to my whole thing, like, because this Mars, another friend that we met in high school, was like, and like Sylvia said, I think during the episode, was like, you guys never talk about this stuff. I'm like, no. When we play games, it's just between boys, and we just play the game. We don't talk about these deep stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's a boys thing. So it was really, even though he's one of the friends I've known like for a long time. Like I learned a lot about Mario on that day. You know,
that's so sweet.
More on the love side of it, because from my perspective, like quote unquote, Sylvia just popped out in his life, right? I knew he was looking. Yeah. I missed the whole thing of like what was the first day, like what was the progress.
Like from his personality, the way that he like introduced himself in the podcast episode as well too. I'm not surprised because he himself says like he is way more reserved in that kind of sense. So that all makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And kudos to him and kudos to every single guest. Like he was really open about that, right? About him being lonely and stuff like that. And again, I didn't know about that. And it was really nice to know all this. And and thank you for you and all the guests for trusting me with that information. Basically,
I
basically.
think this is a really good way to bring those kind of topics because like everybody goes through this in their life, but nobody
Mhm.
talks about it that much. And
Mhm.
this kind of platforms and mediums help us
Mhm.
to connect and realize like we're not alone. Everybody's going through this at the same time.
Yeah. And if I'll be honest, I was yes, I really want to make that episode.
Yeah.
But somewhere in my head, I was like, should I do this? Because I know one of the saddest thing for Valentine's Day is there's a lot of single people.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, should I do this? Even give this more the sense of loneliness to everybody that doesn't have partners. But I'm like, well, I can't really think about this because does that mean I'm not allowed to celebrate Mother's Day because there's a lot of people that don't have their mothers anymore. So there was like this little internal debate inside my head. But I chose to go with the positive. I was like, no, I want to let this be a lesson and one example of how love can succeed.
I agree.
And also I think it's pretty modern, right? Online dating it is a pretty modern thing. I felt like that was something that's worth sharing, and I hope people got something out of it.
And I think both of them did a good job of showing how they reached to that point in their lives. Like, they were mentioning stuff that like when they were struggling as well too before they met, and how they reached that point. So like, yeah, I understand there are people who can get affected by it, but I think it's also can inspire people as well too.
Yeah, that was the whole point of it. And just to finish, like same thing for Sylvia. Like, I bring this back again. Like it's an excuse for me to get to know them better personally. And that was like really the first time I talked to Sylvia like face to face, like this quote unquote.
Yeah.
Right. So no, it was really nice. It was really nice. I thank them again for this whole thing because like it was a lot of work for everybody. Obviously the editing part was chaos. But I think the end product was pretty good. It was it was definitely one of our most popular episodes, unsurprisingly, because people love dating shows. And also, what even better, what I find even cooler is that the retention. I think most of people finished the episode 2 hours plus, or reached the 2 hours plus mark. It was it was really good. So maybe we'll make more of those. We'll see.
I think like not even if it's not about love, like bringing multiple people at the same time brings a really different chaotic vibe.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Chaotic vibe.
It is chaotic because like us, we talk over each other when we're just the two. Like imagine a third person, like everybody's gonna talk over each other kind of situation too. But
again, I had an idea when I was gonna do like a two host podcast.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, and then a third one would be the guest. That would have been interesting, yeah. In another lifetime.
And then after that, we go to a penultimate episode with Giovanni.
Yes.
So him was a quote-unquote accident.
How?
I think did I mention an episode?
No.
Because he was not... Oh, yeah, I did mention it. He was not part of my plans for season 1.
Why?
It's just we were not talking. Like not like because I met him at through job stuff.
Yes.
And really nice guy, and as you all noticed if you listen to the episode, really nice guy, really cool. Like, has a lot of amazing stuff that he does that I feel like it would be interesting to everybody. But it's just that he was not in my contacts, so that's why I didn't think about it. And I forgot when exactly, but suddenly I was scrolling Instagram, and he was like in my recommended friend list.
Universe wanted you guys.
I'm like, oh shit, it's Jenny. I added him, and I learned from that oh, you're also a podcaster. And I'm like, dude, you have to be on my show.
Yes.
It's like, I'm like, it's really tight right now, but I think I had like 2 episodes left. I was like, if you don't mind, I'm gonna fit you into the schedule and I'm gonna put you in season 1. So here's a scoop. This was supposed to be a 7 episode thing. But yeah, that's how he got into the show, and I do not regret it. He was amazing.
Nice.
He's one of those things like he does so much. It reminds me of myself. And it's and he's so passionate about everything he does, and
we got educated in that episode. Like
He's a teacher. He's a
did
teacher.
not exactly. He did it so well. I did not realize that I did not know anything about the education system
Yeah.
here, the struggles that people go through COVID time.
Yeah.
Because like I was not a student while during COVID, was like working on that side, and just seeing that perspective, he brought it such a good, and again, kudos to him being a good teacher. Brought all that information without boring us and like giving it such a lightweight. Loved it.
I said it to him like 2 times already. I'm like, if you were one of my teachers when I was a student, you'd be one of my favorite teachers ever. Like, I love those kind of like personalities.
I agree. He captures attention and he cares. Like when he was telling that little story about the finding a student that's sharing the same anime and like the sharing, creating that contact and common ground. That's such a good effort on his side. And I love when teachers put that kind of, because those kind of ages, you need to relate to them. And he's going above and beyond. Great for him.
Yeah. And again, I'm losing stuff. Did I mention this in the pod? We were supposed to record at his, was it aunt or his cousin's cafe.
I don't remember it.
Okay, so maybe we didn't mention. Yeah, so one of Baxter, because like he was so hard to schedule because he's so busy.
Yeah.
And he proposed like, okay, he's like, I don't mind doing it at night. Like I can. Do you want to do at the cafe, at my cousin's cafe, because they close late. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. That sounds cool. But I don't know what in his, he didn't think about it. I'm like, wait. I'm like, we can't do this during closing because there's gonna be a lot of noise. I was like, no, we don't have to be closing. We can do it during work hours. I'm like, no. There's gonna be people in there. There's gonna be clients.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Maybe he had an idea, but like when I told him, I was like, oh yeah, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, but eventually we found a common ground and managed to get him on the show. So
Nice.
really cool that we managed to get him. And then we go to our finale with Romel.
I was so excited for that episode because you mentioned it in the episode as well too, that you keep saying that the final guest is the reason that I wanted to start doing this, and
One
like
of the reasons.
yeah, exactly, like giving you inspiration on this stuff. And I'm like, who is it? And like, when are we gonna find out, David? And then when I got the episode and had a chance to listen to it, it was a great episode. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It was again, one of those things that I was glad to hear someone's story that deep and that emotional as well too. And again, he was an amazing storyteller. Love the episode.
And like I said in the description, like who better to end the season than someone who does storytelling for a living.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was, and shout out to him. He got nominated for
Yes,
best author,
congratulations.
best writer. Like 1 week after we aired our episode, I wrote in my Instagram story. I was like, I fucking told you. It's an honor to get you on the show. Look at you.
Yeah, it was great.
And I know he listens to our episode, so shout out to you, Romel. Love you.
I actually I listened to the episode recently, and I am planning to get one of his books. Because especially about the different women in his life, that one I cannot wait to read and see his perspective.
Are you a poetry person?
No, but the one that he mentioned, Rupi Kaur, is one of the only poetry poets that I read. And I agree, Milk and Honey is one of my favorite books. And it's one of those books that like opens a new perspective in life and like hits you in places that you didn't know that will hit. And hearing his perspective on that author, I'm like, okay, yeah, I will definitely read this guy. I have to read this guy.
You're welcome, Romel. It's funny because I texted him a few days ago because I was like, just by the nature of things, because he was the last episode, so less listenership. I texted him, I was like, hey, buddy, you're currently last place in terms of views. Are you gonna let people be better than you? Are you gonna do something about it? I was trying to like write it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So yesterday it spiked a little bit. I was
what did he do? Went outside like, listen.
No, it's one of those things. Like it's like you can post it on your wall, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's another thing when you go to someone's like, hey, please listen to this.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's what he did. I don't know what he did, but it was so funny.
Taking notes. I'll do this for my episode as well too.
And I don't know what happened to you. When we went out to eat the other day, it spiked.
Oh.
I told you this.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything. It's
that's the thing. I was like, that's why I was joking with, because we went out with the other girls, with Charlotte and Lucy. That's why I wrote in the group chat. I was like, did you all listen to episode before the meeting? Or
Charlotte did. Charlotte did.
But that's 1 out of like 5. There's like 5 people that listened to the episode. I was like, okay. I did not do any advertising that day. I don't know what's going on.
Interesting.
So sometimes we get these interesting spikes. I'm like, why? Like, okay. Again, I don't quote unquote care about the numbers. It's just as someone who do what we do, like I'm interesting to see how
the data always gets us.
The data.
Like after listening to his episode, I think I realized like, because like that was the last episode I listened, and I'm like thinking back to the older episodes, the one that I connected the most is the ones that people share their story, because there are a couple of episodes that people share their passions and their interests, but I really enjoyed listening their lives, you know, like how do they come up to this life, and like where did they grow, how was their parents, like knowing that side, I don't know, like creates that personal connection with that person. I really enjoyed those episodes. I think okay, I'm gonna butcher names, sorry for that. Romel's and Jonathan's episodes were those that they walked us through from their childhood to where they are right now in such a good way that it felt so connected. Like I was like there with you guys, like when you were recording, sitting right next to you, kind of feeling.
I wonder if that's an artist thing.
Could be.
Because both of them are artists in their own way.
Yeah, they know how to deliver narrative, probably. So
and they do something really related to story. Because Joe's his whole thing is about doing art with his story, and Romel's obviously he writes books. So
exactly.
I wonder if that's part of it.
I think another common thing that both of them had was when they had challenges in their lives or a door closed, they always took it in a positive way, and they're like, okay, what's next? Let's go. They never like, there was always like the story was going up and up, like we were reaching to climax kind of on that end, and that was the interesting part as well too, I would say.
That's a good segue to my question. What would be some of the main things that you learn from the overall season?
Again, like the different ways of passion. That was really interesting, because like I see from a teacher's perspective, I see from an artist's perspective, I see from like bouldering guy's perspective, like rock climbing, all of these different points in life and different interests in life, but having that same attitude. Like imagine all of the guests together, and what we're looking into different stuff, but we're looking from this kind of similar lenses. That's what I realized, and that kind of made me connected to community a bit more, because like when you live your life, you get disconnected, especially living in Canada. When you are individualistic, you go outside of that and you become more personal. But when you realize how we are all connected in the similar ways to each other, this podcast kind of remind me of that connection with others, which was a good reminder.
Me would be the path to success is never a straight line.
100%.
Never.
Every single one of them was like, oh, I tried this, didn't work out. I tried this, didn't work out. And you never know what's going to work out. That's a good motivational kind of approach too.
Yeah. And but they all made it at some shape or form.
And I kind of like, instead of, I don't know if it was one of the episodes, I remember this like, oh, instead of like I could go to this school and I became this, having this kind of story and reaching to the points that they are, it's way more interesting. I think, yeah. Because someone was mentioning that, I'm like, yeah, totally agree. This made me like want to learn about their story more instead of the textbook version. Which is like, yeah, it is not easy when you go through this stuff. I assume all of the guests, like when they're trying to figure out their lives, it was not easy for them. But when you look back, it's such a good, proud moment to achieve that.
All right, so let's go to the Q&A.
Yes.
I think she's really excited.
I have questions.
Okay, go ahead.
First off, the art gifts.
Yes.
Can you tell us what's the story behind it? Like, how did you come up with that idea?
The idea. Well, okay. I already knew that obviously I knew the podcast was about us chit chatting about serious or not so serious stuff in life. You know,
Yeah.
basically sit around and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And what better setting than a campfire?
That was so cute.
Yeah, and it's funny I say that because I've never done that before, ever in my life.
I was going to ask. Did you do camping before, David?
No, never. But it's just the feeling I see. And if I'll be honest, the art that inspired us the most is a game that you have no idea what it is. It's called Octopath Traveler 2.
Of course.
If you look at the cover of that game,
Mm-hmm.
that gave me a good vibe. Like, I want this type of thing. I'll let you Google it. And I wanted I didn't want it to be full of trees. Yeah. No, the second game.
Ah, okay.
This is the first one. I didn't want it to be filled with trees. Like if you look at the cover of Octopath, you see the yeah.
Exactly.
But this one has a lot of trees covering the skies. I'm like, no, I want a clear sky. I want the sky to be beautiful too.
Yeah.
You know, and lucky for me, I found an artist who's really good at that. So I gave them my pitch, and we worked on this for maybe a month ish.
Can we reveal the artist now?
So it's different artists,
Oh,
right? So
True. My bad.
So the artist who did the background, including I would call it the standard cover of this podcast, so the one with the more normally shaped human, it's an artist called Kucing Kecil. It's Indonesian for little cat.
Oh, love them already.
Yeah, so she's amazing. Go look her up. I'll just spell it for you so you can Google her stuff. Kucingkecil. Kucing Kecil. It's an Indonesian. Go look up her profile, and you'll see that it's one of her specialties, doing these sort of like colorful sky and imaginative stuff. So we'll collab on that, and then I guess your next question is gonna be the Chibis. So the Chibi is somebody else. He's a friend of mine. He's called Addy. Fun fact: he was also part of my Ubisoft team.
Oh yeah. So Joe knew him.
Yeah, so that's why he was like. That's why I was like, I think it's this guy, but I'm not sure because he got better. Because it's better than what he used to do. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to my buddy Hadi. I'll just give him his info too. AHDEE.draws with an S. So that's his handle on Instagram. Go find his stuff. Go support the people.
The chibis were so personalized. Like, did you give that much information to him, the artist, or did they do research?
I snuck him some of your pictures on Instagram, whatever, and I gave him a little background on what they do or what they like.
Okay.
And then he drew what makes sense. He obviously we collabed. Like, he would show me like the rough draft or whatever. You had another version. I can show it to you. It was pretty different than what we have in the
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So based on that, yours obviously, I'm like, the cats are so important to our life. We cannot not have them, right? But also gave you research. That's really hard to show as an art. Like, what would I show as an art for?
Nothing. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, let's focus on the cats, right? For some people, it's really easy. Of like, okay, you're a poet. So
that one was so cute though. Him like doing in like the whole thing. It was so cute.
And if you look at his pictures, Romel's pictures, like, he has that poet pose. I'm like, again, this is another easy one.
All of them was so good.
Phil, easy. Just draw his camera with his shirt, with his trademark shirt and cap. You know. Yeah. So
baby was so cute too. That was really funny.
Yeah, and no, that was really fun to make, and I'm glad that every single one of you loved it.
Which one was your favorite?
Art?
Yeah. Not related to person, just like visual wise.
Don't do this to me. Oh, I don't know. It's the
that was fast.
It's the Valentine's one.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because that one was a little different.
You sneaking on the back was so funny.
The best was they didn't even notice until I told them.
That was really funny.
And I was worried at first. I'm like, it kind of looks like I'm stalking them.
Kind of,
but we can also make a certain. No, I'm babysitting. I'm babysitting babies.
That was so cute.
No, that one's was cool, and I think the first one was because Massive obviously is the first one we drew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he drew. That was really fun to see being realized that this is gonna work.
And
you know?
did it match what you were imagining in your mind? Not just the chibis, like the whole art.
Yeah, because when I was making the art with the Captain Chill, I reached out to Hadi. I was like, hey, if I just tell her to make me a version without the people, would your art be matching this if you draw a chibi style?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes.
Okay.
Right, but I didn't have any examples, right? And when we got to doing the first one at Massimo's, obviously the process of making art is you draw a rough draft in black and white. So I had that, and I was like, So I just cut it out, like unprofessionally cut it out, and I just stick it on my cover just to see, like trying to imagine how it would look like. I was like, I don't know, because I cut it out the wrong way. It was like it didn't have transparency and everything, so it just looked like I slapped 2 stickers on it.
Mm-hmm.
And kudos to Hattie, he made it work, and also he added some extra effects to make it like look like it's part of the art. As soon as I gave my first one to Massimo, I was like, okay, yeah, we got it.
It was such a fun surprise because also like listening to people unpacking and just like their reaction, it was so cute.
Yeah, I got all of you. I got you.
And like you can hear from their voices and like their reaction, it's such a nice
legitimate
touch. Like it was such a good, like in just memoir wise, like I have it on my desk and like just having it there is such a good souvenir.
Yeah. And also one thing, like I was also curious was I mentioned the episode for Sylvia, like because she follows me on social media. So and I said she's the that episode was the only one I record after I started posting the episode, so she knew about the art. But I loved it that at least it's still a surprise to her to how it's gonna look. Yeah, and
you can expect some stuff, but it's not gonna match what you think.
And I think I surprised her. Well, them. Yeah, because that was the first one we did like a couple in there, and
they have it as a family. That's so sweet. Yeah.
And, I'm really proud of the idea I had for Elise. I was like, I explained in the show. I was like, it's really hard to draw defining features for a baby at this age. So let's make something that makes people know that's her. I'm like, what's her Chinese zodiac? It's dragon. She's a dragon. So let's put in her dragon onesie. And there's extra touch. Let's draw some blocks, like baby blocks, those toy blocks, and spell Elise. I'm like, that was so sweet. We fucking got it. Exactly. Yeah, because the hugging part was quote unquote easy. And yeah, another story. Like I said, I sneak because they don't post all their pictures. So what I did for them is at some point I was visiting them for, I think we were doing a Thanksgiving party. So I was at their place, and I was just filming the pictures they had on their wall. I was like, this is a really nice couple's picture, and I didn't ask them yet by then, right? Because I was still secretly making a podcast right then. I didn't announce it yet because it was in November, right? Yeah. So while I took a picture, and then I wanted to ask like both of them like together, but because of circumstances, the baby and stuff like that, so they were often split around the house. So I had to ask them like one by one, and that's better work. And they both. I don't know if excited is the right word, but like they were down to do it, and no, I'm glad they did it. And I think, it's one thing to be open to talk about your own story. It's another thing to share your personal couple story. I agree. Because now you would need both's consent. Yes. Right. So I'm glad that worked out. Okay. I forgot what was your initial questions. Oh yeah, about the art. Okay. Yeah, did it match what you were expecting? Yeah, I think overall I think it did. I definitely have more ideas because it got to a point where I'm like, oh, David, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. It will never end otherwise. Yeah, because my, as a creator, like until the last episode, I was like, I wish I've done this better. I wish I've done this better. It will never end. There will be always something else that will pop up in your mind. And one of the reasons, like, I could totally just keep all the improvements I want to make for if I make more in the future. Yeah. For the next season or whatever. But I decided to, as much as possible, bring those improvements episode by episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, the way the show is designed, any episode could be your first and your last, right?
True.
So that's why I need to make sure that every single episode is the best episode, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Right.
I agree.
So that's why episode by episode, as much as I could, I improved as we move along. But the art one was a little bit harder because I had to print that, I had to make it, so that was a little hard to change.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
What about the big question? The whole podcast, the season, did it match what you were expecting or what you were aiming to do? What would you do different? What would you change or keep the same in the future seasons if we ever get one?
I think the format, like I said, I feel like we're at the right place, at a good place. Especially the last few. What I would change? I don't know. It's more like I'm learning about the tech as I go. I'm learning about the editing the more as I go. So I feel like those improvements will be there as I start next season. I think no, I don't have anything big, really. Like I don't have a. If I make season 2, I don't think I'm gonna change the formula. If that's kind of your question, yeah.
And for the future guests, if there's anyone who wants to be a guest, can they be?
What does that mean?
Like, can they reach out to you and just like want to share their story as well too?
So I have a story for that.
Yeah.
When I went to the print shop to grab my very last art that was done, by accident, I met this film director. He was there for basically one of the person that was working at a print shop was one of his actress. And that's why he was there. And while he was waiting for something, I was also waiting for something. He's like, what's your story? What do you do? Like, so he was curious while I was there. I was like, oh, I'm just getting this art from our podcast, blah blah, and I give him a TLDR on what I do, and then the people who works in the print shop, they know me, quote unquote, they know me. Like I've been printing 8 of these, so they're like, oh yeah, like you're the podcast guy. I'm like yeah. So that guy was talking, and I just explained it was the concept. And he's like, this sounds really cool. He gave me his card. Mm-hmm. So at some point, yeah. So that was the first like I would say stranger that was really interested and wanted to get in my show. I'm like, God damn it, I literally just wrapped up the season. I can't put you in, but we'll see. Basically, he's gonna present his film at the Fantasia Festival this year.
Oh,
and yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, and he really wanted to be on my show. So,
maybe in the future.
So to answer your question, I'm open to that.
Yeah.
There are a few people that sort of asked me already, but unfortunately, I said we'll see. Not because I don't like them, it's because I don't know. I'm working on season 1. I need to wrap up season 1 before I think about next. Yeah, I'm open to that, obviously. And I kind of answered your question earlier. What I would want for the next seasons, it's definitely keep going with different walks of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So unfortunately, if you do some stuff very similar to the cast of season 1, I'll probably not invite you for season 2. I'll tell you right away, right? That doesn't mean I'm not gonna invite you in the future, but I do want to keep it varied in that sense. And yeah, I'm always open. And I mean, if you want to ask this me, I do have a wish list. In my head. I do have a wish list. I do have a long-term plan. When I first concepted this show,
yeah,
I already I'm not gonna give you this, but if you look at my Google Drive, I actually have a file somewhere where I listed season 2 guests and season 3 guests.
Hackers online, we have a target.
Why? It's like it's nothing valuable.
Well, I know people can be really, really interested in some stuff. You never know.
Oh God.
But like this season, all of the guests, yeah, you had some kind of knowledge. You know them for a while. You had a connection with them. How do you think would it be if you do an episode with someone you don't know fully or at all? Do you think what would be the difference or would be a challenge for you?
I'll be even more unknown with them because I have no history with them.
You will be finding out about their story in
Yeah.
that details.
Yeah.
While you go
Obviously,
through it.
I would not just approach a random person on the street. Like,
No.
I would need at least to know like what do you do in life, you know, and so on. So
That would be really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
who do you want to be on the show?
I don't know. I want more women. That's I know, because me and Sylvia are the only women in this season. So more women, so we can share their stories as well too. But different backgrounds, like you mentioned, like different hobbies or careers or anything, or like maybe different lifestyles in general too, like someone nomad, for example, or like
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. The whole
That's the point. They're nomads, so it's hard to find them.
but the whole imagination. So that could be really
Yeah.
interesting to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Can I go to my next question?
I'm just gonna finish with again. We're still talking in the ifs. Season 2, the way I planned it, does have a theme,
Ooh.
and it does cover a couple of things that that are missing in season 1. I'll say that. I'll just say that.
But now we want to know more. You're good at this. Sure, we'll wait.
Okay, I'll ask you another question.
Yeah.
Which was the guest that you were surprised that I got in? In sense, like, I can't believe David knows this kind of person. Was there any episode like this?
Let me think. I did not think about this question. Let me have a look.
So I got her again. She didn't come prepared enough.
No. I think Joe.
Well, you didn't think I would know concept artists? I work in the video game industry.
Yeah, but like, no. Okay. If you're thinking about that side, Nusha was it's funny because you know him the longest probably,
Yeah.
but his passion in general was like so different, like mindset wise, and the way he talks is different. And Joe, because it like his general, I don't know how to say this. His life story is so different. Like he's not a classic person that you encounter in Montreal, kinda. So that was like surprising on that end.
Okay.
And new shows because like it's such a different mindset, like compared to other guests as well too.
Okay.
His mindset was like really different.
Okay, that's okay. I was more like, I can't believe David knows a writer or whatever.
No,
Okay.
you said it to yourself. You have so much hobbies and different interests in life. Like, and also like knowing you are a people person. Like for the listeners, no. For the listeners, when I was working with David, he would literally walk around in the office and then come back with like so many scoop and so many tea. And like he's not even asking. People come up to him and like tell him. So knowing this side of you, I was not surprised you know any of these persons, honestly.
Okay. What kind of person do you want me to have? Aside from, like you said, more women.
More women.
But
yes.
in terms of background.
Maybe different age group. Because these are all the people that are around our ages. So someone could be younger or older, could be interesting to see. Older would be really interesting to see, especially because like they have like wisdom and like experience in their life and stuff like that too.
If there's any grandpas and grandmas out there that wants to
If you're interested, yes, this is your time to shine. So I
think demographic wise,
yeah.
I think my show didn't have any listeners that are over 50 years old. I think.
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean that age group is not interested to know about the other age groups.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That I can't do something like any listeners that are over 50 years old.
Oh, this is not the right target audience. No. Definitely on that. But yeah, I was actually thinking like, you can cut this part off if you want, but like if you ever want to do a family member, but then language barrier could be a thing too, because like it will be really interesting to hear from someone in your family explaining their stories and stuff like that, but the language barrier is like a different thing.
Yeah.
But someone like different life stages than ours, because like the guests so far, we're all around the same milestone in our lives. So someone maybe going through the struggle right now could be interesting to see, younger, or someone already calmed down and figured everything out and just like give us a little walkthrough of their life a little older.
Hazal wants them younger. Okay.
Hey! Out!
Okay, next.
Now, okay, I cannot wait for this one. What was the most interesting comment or feedback or message you got through this?
More a collective thing where people are like, are wondering, do I still have a full-time job?
Hey, David, what's going on with your life? Want to share?
So putting this on record, at the time of this writing, I still have my full-time job.
Even though he jokes that he quits like every other day, yes.
Yeah, I do have a full-time job. I do work there full-time. I just have, I don't know. People always ask how come I have so much free time? I'm like, well, because I concentrate on one thing. It's basically that.
Because you also sacrifice that to do something.
Yeah, and people that have been following me for a while, like I always start some sort of passion project somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it helps that I don't have a family right now, and I don't have to take care of kids and stuff like that. So that frees up some time. This is one of those things where you're like, just go, just do it.
But you were talking at the same time.
Yeah, you just making it worse by opening it slowly. Now I just lost my train of thoughts.
You might want to repeat that again.
It's fine. But yeah, how come I have so much? I don't know. It's like I said, I don't have a family. I focus on this. I pitched you this podcast idea during summer last year. That's when I really was like starting the concept of it. Even though I had this idea for a couple of years now. And as I kind of said in the Romel episode, where he sparked that idea of me wanting to talk to people and learn about their story when I don't have the chance to do so. But I did not know it was going to be a podcast until a few years ago. And when I pitched you this idea, asking if you wanted to come in as a co-host, that's when I really start to concept it. If even when I pitched you, I had like the summary. It's not exactly what right now, but it had the same idea, if you remember. So from last summer to until today, I've been like all in on this podcast thing. I did not stop thinking about this podcast thing. I did not stop producing podcast stuff until last week, because I shipped. Oh, that's such a industry term. Until I posted the finale last 2 weeks ago. Like last week was the first week where I felt weird. I was like, oof, wait, I'm losing the timeline. No, it's this week.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's this week. Yeah, because we're recording like a 1 week in advance. The episode will probably release next week. Yeah, it was just this whole thing of like, it was this whole thing for a while. It's been in my head. I've been doing a lot of things in the background. But really, like when I started recording, that's when like it took off and nonstop. Because not only do I have to record, but also I have to start editing them so I can start on time. I had a day on mind, and even though I had a day in mind, I had to think about all the assets, the quote unquote marketing assets. And then the hardest part really was the name. I could not find a good name for I don't know how many months. That was driving me insane. Because it's one of those things, everybody has a podcast nowadays. You have a good idea, it's someone already took it. And I'll give you this little Easter egg scoop. I found a really good name. I already started making all my social medias with that name, my emails and everything. Until the very last moment, I found someone who has that name. I'm not gonna name them, just out of respect, but because they're not that popular, it didn't pop in anywhere until I found that one site where it had it. So the Easter egg is I was so sure about the name that when I told Cochin Kachil to do the cover, I told her that was the name.
Oh.
So there's something in there that is a product of that first name. I'll just say that. I'll let you all figure it. You're not gonna find it like this.
No.
But it's someone. I tell her, cause she didn't do the title. I did the title. Mm-hmm. She just did the art. I told her, like, this is gonna be your title. Can you put this thing to represent that name? And she did it. But basically when she finished the artwork, I didn't want to. I could have asked to change it, but I was like, let's just keep it in there as a little funny Easter egg to like this was initially the name. And this name came like last minute. I was like, thank God I found something that makes sense. Yeah, I really like. If you ask me what was the hardest thing, David, this was the name. It's one of those things, I don't want to f it up because like who knows, this might last a few months or it might last 10 years. I don't know. I want to have a proper name. And it's just cool, it's your own thing. I'm not launching company, guys, but like, yeah, I just want to have something, right?
The merch will be available in a week.
I've done merch before. I actually knew this. Shout out to all those people that supported my past projects. I bought my t-shirts, by the way. I love you guys. I don't know. I didn't want to think I was too busy. I had other stuff to do. Yeah, one thing, like, if you ask me what was the hardest thing aside from the name, is the editing part. I don't know. It's so monotonous. It's again, I'm not a pro. Somebody could probably do this way easier to me and have fun with it. I mean, Hazal, when we work, we can put some music on the corner and listen to music. We cannot do that when you edit a podcast. It's just constantly hearing Hazal's voice or my own voice and hear all the uhs and stuff like that, and I have to correct those. I'm like, oh. I also heard the this kind of sound. Yeah,
I was getting messages from you. Did you know you do this? And I'm like, thanks, David. Now I know.
Yeah, and it's not just conscious of how others speak, but also self-conscious. I'm like, God damn it, I do a lot, and also I started a lot.
Do you still have that self-consciousness?
Yes.
Oh God.
Like what? Like right now, though. Right? Like, God damn it! I need to edit this out, which I'm not because that's all. Anyways, yeah. If you ask me, the best case scenario is I don't have to edit the episode, but I do not have money to pay for editors.
In the future, we can manifest.
No. And just to be clear, everybody. This is not a side gig. This is a passion project. I'm not calling it side gig because I do not make money out of this. So please do not think that I'm making money out of this. If anything, I'm minus 4 digits. So this is really a passion project. I don't know. If one day it blows up, it is what it is. But right now, I don't have I'm not even thinking about a financial plan, goal, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So really, please just support it and spread the love. It's all I ask. Yeah, I did have a few people asking me how they can send me donate money to me.
Yeah, Patreon.
I'm not gonna.
Nah, David, you should be proper podcaster.
No, I'm not gonna do Patreon. I'll see. I'll think about it. But right now, I'm not interested in this. But hey. If anybody listens to this and want to sponsor, please send me a message.
Interact.
Who wants to be our first sponsor? Jesus. If anything, I'm kind of okay. It's just to be clear, for people that have products like Nusha with his restaurants and Romel with his books, they never ask for anything in return. When I promote their stuff, it's purely because I'm like, yo, they're doing awesome stuff. I want you to support them. It's never an agreement, whatever.
I think it's kind of clear from the episodes that it is that kind of a relationship as well. But you never know.
You never know. Exactly. I could be a really good actor and pretending
Are you?
Huh?
Are you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, what was the funniest thing that you heard from people? Reaction, emails, messages?
I think it's my friend who reacted to your episode in real time.
The stolen project.
You stole your project? Well, you must really hate her.
Yeah.
That's my friend Jeremy. Shout out to you, Jeremy. It's so funny because he listened to a couple episodes, and then because he knows Joe, he was part of my team. Jeremy was part also of that same Ubisoft team. And he watched that episode, and then I don't know why he listened to yours. There's no attachment to it, But then I forgot for which episode, which has nothing to do. Again, I'm like, you should listen to this one. I may or may not have name dropped you. He's like, what? Really?
That's how you bait people.
He's like, what's the timestamp? I was like, what's the fun of that? And I actually did not name drop them. But I name dropped you here, Jeremy, so you should listen to this episode.
I'm like listening to all of the episodes for waiting for this moment.
Yeah. So Jeremy, shout out to you, Jeremy. Jeremy is cool. I love Jeremy. I call him JJ.
JJ. That's
JJ.
cute.
You didn't ask me the spiciest question. What was my favorite episode?
I don't know if I should ask it. Because if you don't say it's my episode, I might be mad. So.
Oh no.
JK.
I'll tell you right away. It's not yours.
JK. Tell me. What was your favorite? What was your favorite episode? What was your favorite episode?
I'll give you a boring corporate answer. I love all of them.
This is the end of this episode. I'm not asking any more questions after this.
I love all of them, but I think you know why. My little bias is towards the last episode because of the reasons why I wanted to.
It was really cute
make
though.
Make an episode with Romel. One of my favorite moments is when I surprised him with his CD. He did not expect that. He did not. I wish I had video for that too. Like he was like, "What the hell?" Yeah, it felt like all this moment. I was like, I know where that CD. Like I have that CD. I'm gonna bring it to him. I triple check like this CD is in my bag the day I'm recording. Because yeah, I think it would have meant a lot, and I think it meant a lot to him. I was like, okay, yeah, someone kept a piece of history from a decade ago, where he was like, I wouldn't say nobody, but what he was like, he just started his poetry journey.
That's so sentimental.
Yeah, and I'm a collector, so I keep all of them.
Yeah,
so don't worry. Sometimes a little bit too much, but all right. Next question.
You asked me this, so I'm reverse to you. How was recording yourself and hosting a show and exposing it to the world? How was that experience for you?
Well, it's not about me, so that's easier. If that's what you mean?
Yeah, but still, it's a product of yours. It's a work of yours, you know.
I think you were there when you met my friend Kevin, who came to playtest at some point. So he's like a childhood friend who's like, I know even more than Yusha and Mario. We were in elementary school together, and when he saw me do like announcement, a public announcement, he was like, "This is not the David I remember." And shout out to you, Kevin. Kevin listened to all the episodes, right? I love you. And I feel like that was the same case when I released my first episode, because from people, I think starting, I wasn't like this until college, I would say. And I feel like people I met before that were like, really? David is doing a podcast? What the hell? And in terms of myself, like I would never think I would be doing something like this, like for the same reasons. And I don't know, like I'll admit when I listen to myself for the first episodes, I'm like, man, this is so weird listening to myself speak like this. I don't do these kind of things, and I just got used to it after a while. But also it helps that I don't speak that much in the episodes, right? So I'm just doing what I do at my full-time job. If you think about it, this is basically a usability test.
when I was like nervous about my episode, and like you said that like it's gonna be like a usability session, it's just like, oh, okay, that makes sense,
right? Like,
yeah.
And I feel like that helped me a lot in that sense. But it's one of those things like, but usability, I knew how to do that before I did my full-time job.
You might want to explain what usability is a bit for those who don't know.
Usability is when we do we do an interview style where we talk one-on-one with somebody, and we go through a product, and they go through a product, and we're behind them, and we keep asking for their opinions on how they feel about the features and whatever they're starting to tell us, and we just have a conversation, and when they say something that's not clear, we try to expand, ask them a follow-up question to try to expand on, which, as I explain this more and more, like this sounds a lot like what I do in the podcast. So I felt that was a natural transition to this, my skill set to this. Because that's also one of the things that a few mentors like, David, you asked some really good question. I'm like, thank you. I'll take that. yeah, like I don't know. It felt weird at first, but it just became natural. But again, it helps that it's not about me, right? I can't find a term. I'm just there to make the conversation flow, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That's all my questions. Did
Weak.
anyone reach out to you?
For
Because
what?
you posted it on Instagram too. Like if they had any questions or
Not
anything.
really, not really. I think I answered a couple of those like organically around the episodes. The
Mhm.
things that were asked me the most. No, yeah, I think that's the gist of it. Well, I guess let's move on to the last section of this.
Am I gonna ask rapid questions to you?
Huh?
Am I gonna
No.
ask what will be the name of your book, David?
What book?
I like
Oh.
if your life was a book, like you know how to ask it. I don't know.
Oh well. Okay, that you just reminded me. Like that's one of the things that people
Oh
ask me a lot.
yeah. Okay.
Well,
Can I ask?
sure.
How did you come up with those questions?
Oh, okay. No, we didn't have the same question in mind.
Okay.
How did I come up with those questions? But like I said, I don't prepare them, so it's really like wait, which question? The rapid fire questions? Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the general questions around the podcast. I just try to make them a little bit more fun, right? Because usually my story part is a little bit more heavy, so that's why rapid fire is really like let's make it a little more fun. So that's why I asked. Like I think ice cream flavor. I think
That's my favorite. I was going to say.
I love that question because I don't know, like people with I don't know how to say it. It's like cause ice cream has so many flavors, and it's like to give you a flavor, and you're like, really, why? And then they to my surprise, a lot of people have a good excuse why they like it.
I think it was Nusha that says pistachio.
like this.
I
I'm
know.
like, what the fuck?
And like when I heard it, I'm like, I love pistachio too. I'm gonna keep that in mind from now on.
So it's like it's a little fun. It's a little fun stuff.
It's great.
And then the other ones, like the book thing, I really love that one because it's basically trying to ask them like, how would you summarize your life in one sentence, basically,
It's tough.
right? And it's a good exercise, and some of them like have an answer really quickly, so they thought about it.
I think we also like you when you talk about your life and your story in that episode. Like when you ask mine, like normally if you ask me any day, like what would you name this or come up with something creative, I'm like no for like 2 hours. But that
You're
day
gonna move?
because yeah exactly. Also like I've been telling you some things that happened recurrent in my life, so that should be the name of my
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, yeah. And sneaky, it's to help me get inspiration for what will be the title for my podcast for the episode.
Easy.
But I don't think I've used any of it.
No,
if
I don't think any
about
of
it.
the episode
Yeah.
names matches them.
Yeah, I love my episode names though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta teach them all was really funny. I laughed at that one.
I was really proud of that. I gotta say I was really proud of that. I love the one for the finale, the power of word. I think that was such a great name to end the season with. Also the first one, also it's all about telling a good story. That's a good way to start too. But if you speak to somebody who's an expert on getting more clicks and stuff, I can't find a term. I don't think I have good titles.
Why?
I don't have clickbaity titles.
Boy, but we are not TMZ, you know.
No, but clickbaity in the sense like, and I'm gonna say it with all respect. For example, for Phil, like I could have totally used the death of his friend to get some clicks. Like, my friend died. No, okay, that was a really bad title. See, I'm not good with it. I can't find anything. You know.
I can't keep it straight. Oh, that will definitely not work. Yes.
No, I can't. Again, something clickbaity like this. You know.
But I think your titles are giving a good sense of the episode.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like when you listen to the episode and then see that title, it just makes sense, you know.
Yeah. But it's not good for clicks.
Also, like if you don't know the episode and see the title, sometimes it might not be capturing it fully.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I'll try to do like a good mix of both. Like I think yours fit in that bill. You know,
Yeah.
It's like the challenges of international student, which is something that is very interesting just by reading the title, but also actually makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
The Valentine episode 2 is like we swipe right.
That was really cute.
Yeah. It's so funny in the episode. I think I cut a bunch of it, but like Silva had so much trouble thinking of the book name. She was like, swipe something.
Oh no! In the final version, it seems like she just like come up with it like.
Oh no! It took way more time. Oh no! Oh yeah, like that was definitely one of the parts I cut the most because people were like stuck for minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla. If you listen to at least 2 of the episode that person said vanilla, I was like, yeah, let's go vanilla.
No, like literally last week you had a vanilla ice cream. I forgot. Lucy has a vanilla one too. I remember that.
Okay. Well, to be fair, there was only 3 choices there. So,
but I was expecting chocolate from her. I was surprised because she loves
okay.
chocolate.
Okay. Chocolate is overrated.
Bring
it on, people.
This is what's gonna like war start. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I thought you were gonna ask me. So one thing that a lot of people ask me, you actually heard some of them like live, but some of them like mentioned after the fact was, we need to do an episode about you, David.
I think I said it after my episode too. Yeah. Yes.
I think 80% of the guests said that. And I think 2 of them offered to host that episode.
I agree with that. People are curious, and also like creating that connection with your audience. You need to share. Get that on the other side. Feel the uncomfortableness.
Oh la la. No, this show is not about me, Hazal.
That's
not about me.
That's your cheating.
It's not about me. But it's something else. Something fun you can do is like if you listen to each episode, you actually get a little bit out of me from each of them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a puzzle. Like, watch all the episode and you're going to learn about David.
100%. That's so good. True.
So that's how I sell this.
Yeah.
You don't need episode, but we just watch all the episodes.
But it's because all of the guests had a connection with you. But if you go towards guests that don't know, like you don't have the connection, you will lose that part. Maybe.
Not necessarily, but like, cause sometimes they talk about subjects that I'm familiar with. So I give a side. For example, Nusha, he was talking about restaurant. I have a huge restaurant background, so you learn about my restaurant thing.
Yeah, you were telling about your food festival time.
Yeah, so, and from Joe, you heard about my QA side, and from you, we heard a little bit about the user research side.
Yeah.
So that's how you get a little bit out of me. And from Nusha, you heard about my high school days.
Exactly.
From Massimo, you heard about my college days. So you see, you get a little bit out of me from everywhere. You don't.
That's true. That's
you don't need an episode about me.
That's good. That's good. You sneakily find your way out of it. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if you felt this way. Episode 1 of basketball, there was a point where he mentioned, I don't know you, David. You're always so sneaky and secretive, blah blah. And when I was like, I can hear everybody that knows me doing a big sign. I was like, oh, yeah, that's David.
Agreed. Like I think I have like maybe a handful of times that you directly answer something.
Directly answer something.
Yeah, like when I ask you a question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm gonna get as an answer. No.
As I always like to say, just put some little spice in your life to make it more interesting. Surprise, surprise. You know, I surprised you with pastry today for your birthday.
Yes.
You know, if I texted you, Hazal, I'm coming with pastry.
No, I'm all in for those kind of surprises. Yes.
So seriously, I heard you people maybe one day, but not in the short-term future. Again, I really don't want to make this about me. When the time is right or whatever, sure, but not. I'll tell you what, it's not. If I make a season 2, it's not gonna be in season 2. But yeah, I don't know. My story's boring. People don't want to hear about it.
Underselling yourself, sure, David.
Just a little Asian. That's it. Or the opposite end. My story's too dark. You're not ready for this. So.
You're just teasing people now.
Hey, if you want to hear my episode,
listen 5 more seasons, and you'll get one.
You know, if I get 1,000 subscribers, maybe I'll try. I'm at 300, I think, on Instagram.
Ooh.
So maybe not 1,000. Let's say 1,000,000.
Aye.
A
So hard to
million.
convince you.
Yeah. All right. Speak of which, the last part of this, we'll end with this. The future of this show. Honestly, and I'm being genuine. I've been thinking about this for a while. One of the reasons why I'm recording this a week after the episode, the last episode aired, is because I actually do not know. But if I'll be honest, as soon as I record that first test episode, I knew I wanted to make more. Okay, but because of things that's gonna happen to me this year, I don't know if I can do more in the foreseeable future. When I say foreseeable future, I like in next year ish. The reason why, Hazal, hold on to your chair, hold on to your butt. I'm going on vacation.
Like vacation.
Maybe.
Oh my god. And that, like, people, I don't know how to explain this, but like, if I know someone that never took a day off in his life, it's David. Like, our director was literally asking him when he's gonna go on vacation. What's this vacation?
Long story short, for family reasons, I might go to China later this year.
Oh.
It's gonna be close to a month time.
Ooh.
So that's one trip, and I might go somewhere. I might go visit my family in the States sometime in the summer, and that's on top of everything that I already do on the side. Food fest,
Full-time job.
full-time job. Oh yeah, this is my full-time job too.
Oh.
Convention, and then this thing. So that's why for the immediate future, I don't know what's gonna happen to me this year. So that's why I don't want to promise anything. But there is a desire to make more. I'll put that clear. When exactly? Do not ask me when.
2026 January.
And for those people curious, I did not start reaching out for a season 2 guest yet. I might start soon just to gauge interest. But I don't think I'm going to record. I'm going to take a little break for sure. I'm like I said, I have been doing this because basically I've been doing for the entire summer. I did a half a dozen food fest.
Yeah.
I did the conventions as a staff, and then during those summertime, I was pre-production on this show, and then in fall, that's when I was recording, plus editing, and then winter was a mix of editing and releasing the episodes until today, which I still need to edit this. God damn it!
Never ends.
So I definitely do want to take a break. Yeah, and we'll see. But like I teased earlier, like I do, since the beginning, I do have a plan for 3 seasons of this. The wish list of 3 seasons. It's not guaranteed they're gonna say yes. Obviously, it's my wish list. Everything is thought out. So there are a couple of things that you said. I wish you had more of this, David. Don't worry, I thought about it. But I'll tease it. Because this is probably the last time I'll speak if I do a season 2 or not. There are 2 main things that are missing with season 1 that I will definitely cover in season 2.
What is it?
I'll let you guess. Yes.
This is too much pressure.
That's what ruined the fun. When I announce it, it'll make sense. As soon as I announce it, you'll be like, "That's so true." David.
Announce it.
No. So I'm gonna take a break, refresh myself. I will start to. There's a few people that probably know I'm interested in talking to them. But because also I'll tease that next season is gonna have a theme. There's gonna be a theme behind it, and there are a lot of people that I want to speak to that will not be in season 2 because they do not feed that theme. Not because I don't like you guys. I love you guys. Okay. So if you don't get contacted by me in the next year-ish, don't fret. There's always season 3. Well, maybe. It's so like again. I really wish I had a more clear answer today. That's why I try to prolong this, like recording this for a while. But really, like I've even coming to your house thing. I was like, yeah, I'm not ready to commit to season 2 this year. But I really want to make it. So I guess that's good news for y'all. Obviously, like, you know, it'll help if you all send me nice messages and be like, David, we need to know. No, you don't need to do that. But always appreciate it, by the way. I do know there's interest. I do got asked a lot to do more of these. Stay tuned, I guess.
Don't wait us too long.
It's okay, you'll be gone anyways.
Oh, I can still listen. Spain has Spotify.
Is it on banned like Discord?
Oh my god.
So the story behind this is because Discord is banned in Turkey, so we couldn't reach out to Hazal for a while, which is funny.
And I still don't know why.
Probably something like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't match with regulations.
Could be.
But yeah. All that to conclude. I cannot commit on announcing a season 2 today, but it is something I really want to do. It is something I've been planning since the start. I do have I'll call it medium term plan, right? Like I said, I do have 3 seasons of guests written out somewhere. If you want to hack me, don't hack me, please.
Please do it.
It doesn't matter.
Just do it for the fun. Do it.
It's like I said, I'm not interviewing like superstars, you know. So it's like whatever.
It's not that. It's just the fun.
It's just the fun of it. Okay, do not do this, please. Yeah, I have them written out. I will try to reach out eventually, be like, see if they're actually interested. And I came up with that 3 season list of people that I know, quote unquote, right? Who knows? I might meet some new people, like the director I met suddenly. Who knows? But yeah, stay tuned.
Now, did I forget anything?
I thought you came in here with a prepared speech.
Oh my god, David, I did really well.
Mm?
I'm sure the listeners will tell you that I did really well too.
I don't know. You gotta share this.
Kudos
episode.
to me.
Share this episode with your friends and family.
Oh god.
I'm surprised you didn't ask me which episode did the best, like viewership wise.
I was going to ask it off the record, but yes, tell me the numbers.
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah, but why'd you do this?
I'm just saying. I'm surprised you didn't ask, cause
okay, because I knew you wouldn't say it on record. I'll ask you after.
No, I don't want the numbers to be public.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk after.
Yeah. Hey, I'll give you this. All right, your episode
Did the best.
No. Okay, that's actually
okay. People are actually gonna think I'm egoistic and stuff like that. I'm joking.
She's not.
Do I?
Okay, so I should give you 2 information. Your episode is not number 1.
Yeah.
In terms of viewership.
Number 2.
Viewership.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference between viewership and time listened on your episode.
Okay.
Which I find more important, to be honest.
Okay.
Right?
That I succeeded.
No, the Valentine episode.
What did I win, David?
Let me finish. You did not get first place, but you're in the top 3. I'll give you that.
In both or in one of them? Like both viewership and the top listening? No, because I lost it at Baran, so it's like halfway of the episode, right? God damn it, Baran.
Because yours, like, we see a mountain.
Oh my god.
Okay, the others, it's like, it's straight.
My life is polarized.
There's one episode where a lot of people quit after the first 10 minutes. I'm like, okay.
What happened?
I'm like, okay, well, this is dark shit.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So that's what viewership is not everything. But I just like want to let you know. I'm surprised you didn't ask this. That's what I was like. Okay.
I was going to ask after because I knew you wouldn't say it in the record directly.
No. This is why, again, I don't quote unquote care about this, so that's why I'm not paying
I just care about the data part.
Yeah. I look at the data because I'm curious, but it's not
well,
it doesn't influence me who I'm going to invite next is what basically what I'm trying to say.
You can take this off too, like compare between Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other.
Oh, that's easy. That I can tell you. That's fine.
Which one has the most succeed?
Spotify by far.
Really?
Spotify has 90% of my audience.
Ooh.
Give or take.
Well, I also listen to you from Spotify too.
Yeah. Apple Podcasts was only, I think, 5%.
Who uses Apple Podcasts, honestly?
I thought more people would use it because Apple, but no, everybody's on fucking Spotify. Yeah. YouTube, I had 5%, the other 5%, which I'm glad I put it there because there are some episodes where, like, there's, those data you can actually check publicly. There's, like, a few episodes where, like, it does really well, and then some, like, only 1 view on YouTube. Which I'm like, I kind of expected this. No, actually, I expected it to be low everywhere because YouTube is a video platform. But at the same time, it is the biggest streaming platform on the planet. So I have to be there. I have to put it there. And if someone prefer to use YouTube, and but to my surprise, in Spotify, 90%, around 90%. Also, if you're curious about demography, viewership, gender, I have about 60% male, 35% female, and the other is like unknown because they didn't log in or whatever. So it's about that. Easily, my spikes for female viewership was your episode.
You need more female episodes.
And the dating episode. Country that was easy.
Turkey.
Turkey?
Yeah, Turkey.
No. Turkey obviously spiked when your episode dropped.
Yeah.
But what's funny, I have a friend that lives there, so I think it's like your friends and family plus him.
You're representing there.
I think you represent like 3% of my audience, because your episode did really well, like I said. Otherwise, it's all Canada, US, and then I have someone in Russia, and then someone in France. Yeah, I have some friends in France, so that France was pretty high too. What else data wise?
Age you already mentioned.
No, I didn't.
There's no more like higher that much.
Yeah, but I didn't give the rest of it.
Please do.
Obviously, our podcast is not popular with children. 0 views from 18.
Oh, what a surprise!
Actually, no. I think there's like 1% or something, but it was like negligible.
Elise is
She has fans already.
she's doing 1%.
The most popular age group is definitely the high 20s, early 30s. I forgot what was that exact range. The college age, that was my second place. And third place would be the 40s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's around that. Yeah. Which I'm not surprised by. I'm not cool like the key. I should be on TikTok. You should teach me how to be on TikTok.
I quit, so don't use that anymore. Me and social media, man.
No, it's I guess I'll finish with this. It's also interesting to see the number of views. I would say a lot of the viewership number for certain people, like totally opposite of what I thought.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like in my head, I think this episode is going to do really well, but it's like one of the worst in terms of viewership numbers. Right, but in terms of engagement, it was really high.
I see.
So the people that listened in loved it. Right, but I don't know. It's one of those things. Like it's at the end of the day, just like with anything, it's a popularity contest. If you have more friends, also if you have friends and family that just that happens to also like podcasts, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Too, right. That's the thing I keep telling my friends. Like, hey, no pressure to listen to my thing. Like, if you're not into podcasts, don't worry about it. I don't no hard feelings. And same thing for their friends and family for when it's their episode or whatever. Like, I get it. Don't blame anything, but obviously it helps when that's why I keep saying this, and that's why I keep saying this in my episodes. Like it really helps if you share and like tell people to listen to it, because I have only so many people that follow me on social media, and I don't have that many friends, by the way, even though you think I do. I don't have many. I really don't have that many friends. Acquaintances, yes, but actually friend, I don't have that many friends. Yeah. I mean, I think the best way to look at it is if you look at my Instagram account, I follow about 180-ish people, but 1,000 follow me. So that just tells you there's no mutual connection there. Just see, I'm not famous.
I'll take your word.
She doesn't believe me. Okay. Okay, but more serious things. Before we close out the show, I do want to say a couple thank yous. Obviously, first of all, thanks to you. Thanks to all the storytellers on my guests. Really, this show would not exist without you. What's the best thing, the most touching thing is like legit. I shit you not. Every single word of you, when I ask you, like I basically just produce like, hey, I'm making this podcast thing, blah blah, like which I'm gonna start recording X dates. Like, would you be down to be a guest? Everybody said yes right away without even knowing what's going to be the podcast going to be about. So I'm so thankful for that. Like, I don't know what.
We trust you.
Thank you. Like, that was so cool. Like I don't know what to say. It's that was really that was really awesome of y'all to say yes, and obviously for your time, for opening up, to sharing me your secrets, quote unquote, your deepest thoughts. Okay, I hope you kept some secret to yourself. You didn't tell me everything. It'll be a little troublesome if Baran comes to me and is like, I didn't know this about Hazal. Can you imagine? You didn't share this with me. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you everybody for opening up. Like it's and obviously for your time. It's been awesome, and for trusting me with your story. Really, right? Like because you trusting you with your story, that I'm gonna edit it well. I'm gonna share it with the rest of the world, and be part of my project of like inspiring people and creating positive vibes. So thank you so much for that. Okay. Second thing, obviously I need to thank the listeners. I said this a little bit in the finale. In an age where so many people are trying to fight for your time, like podcasts, movies, video games, anything, everybody is fighting for your time, and you've decided to give me an hour and 2 minimum for my little project. That's so humbling. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say. Like, special shout out to those that listen to every single episode. You're crazy. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna thank people that I'm not gonna listen to this episode. So I hope that people that listen to this share. Okay, that to hear that I'm really sincere for every single people that listen to any episode, like even one episode or even 10 minutes. I don't care. Like, thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for going along with my little passion project. I've been trying to launch passion projects for a while now. This is the only successful one, because this is the one that I did quote unquote alone, which is not fair to say. I didn't do this alone, right? But but this is not a team project per se, right? Versus the other, it was a team project. It was not if I'm not trying to blame anybody, but this one was really, everything was under my control. So I finally did it something. It's cool to have something on my name for once. Special thanks to people that have been supporting me all these years for anything that I do. Yeah, it's been a pleasure doing these. I sort of complained about the stuff I didn't like when I did this. It was a lot of hard work, but I had fun all the way from start to finish. Right? It was really fun to do this. Not a lot of people wrote to me, but I see the views. But the people that write to me, just a little like, I love this episode. Like, just that. I'm done. This is what I want. This is what I need. That's all I need. So yeah, if I get to make more, it's all for you guys. Again, right now I'm not even thinking about the money. So I hope, like I said in every Star episode, I hope this gave you something. You got something out of this. You know, if it sparked conversation, it sparked some imagination in your head to, I don't know, maybe this could inspire someone to make a podcast, another podcast one day. And invite me in so I can go in podcast. Okay, now I'm rambling. But honestly, thank you so much, everybody. I'm a loss for words right now, but I'm forever grateful for this. So thank you. And you get double dip, Hazal, because you're both a listener and a guest. So you got double thanks for me. You should be.
Congratulations, David. This is a great job.
Thank you. Okay, let's properly close off this show, and that's it for inaugural season of Tales to Tell. For real this time. Thank you. I just pointed at Hazal. I don't know why. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support throughout the season. I hope that you enjoy listening to this show as much as I enjoy producing it. I just said before, if you like this podcast and think we're worthy of another season, please consider following, subscribing to this show on your favorite podcast platform, and sharing with friends and family. As always, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. The entire season is now available. It's not going anywhere unless someone DMCing me. I don't know why.
Why are you calling this?
I don't know why. It's like, I feel like it's at the end, so I'm calling out everything. It is the end, Hazal. And of course, if you are see, we're derailing now. It's over. And of course, if you have any feedback to help make the future shows better, please leave them in the comment section or reach out to us via social channel. Mainly, you can follow talestotell.podcast on Instagram to get updates and behind the scenes of this show. Obviously, that's where I'll announce season 2 or whatever updates in the future, if I have them. If you want to follow my personal adventures, find me at davidliu.17. As always, I hope you all stay safe and always be kind to each other. I really mean it. I'm your host, David Liu. This has been...
Bye. Hazal.
She
I
did
was
not
not expecting
she did not
that.
expect
No.
this.
Hazal.
And I will see... no, we will see you next time. Really? Maybe. No, I'll change this. And I will see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.